Welcome to What If? What if Captain America was a WAHMEN? What if Marvel actually had the capacity to entertain me? But you can probably guess my thoughts on the first episode of What If. What if maybe Marvel actually became creative instead of recycling what we've already seen? But they're on a downward spiral and I can't really see them clawing themselves out of it. They're stuck in a hole and they just can't seem to get out. Or they don't want to get out. You tell me. But we'll get into it, and I wouldn't really worry about me spoiling it for you, because you're probably not going to watch it anyway. There's not really anything to spoil. All this episode was basically the first Avenger, with minor little differences, but it still started the same and ended the same as Captain America the First Avenger did. You know, you've got this whole multiverse going on, and you can't come up with anything interesting for a story. So this show is meant to be, oh well, what if this happened differently? But in this episode, nothing really happened that was different. There was minor things, but it didn't change where the story started and ended. It was the same as the first Avenger. It just was. It was boring. I can tell you that. I wasn't entertained the entire time I was watching it. And I did try. I tried. But there just wasn't anything. There wasn't anything there. It just, like I said, it was just a recycled version of the first Avenger. And it seemed like it was just for the sake of having a female Captain America. That's what it seems like to me. The only differences in this was Captain America was a woman. Steve Rogers is pretty much just Iron Man in the 1940s or whatever. And she had a fight with an octopus and killed it with a sword. And then she went through a wormhole to the future where she met Hawkeye and Nick Fury. So she just got to the future differently from whereas Steve got to the future by being frozen in ice. She just went through a wormhole. That was the only difference. They were the only differences in it. Other than that, it was the first Avenger. It's like, see, as I was watching it, I'm like, a 2-year-old could have come up with this. Come on, literally a 2-year-old could have come up with this. Because like I said, not much was different. And that's what I mean. You're doing this multiverse stuff. You could have went anywhere with it, but they chose not to. I don't know what it is with them at the moment. I don't know if they're just trying to bore us to death. It seems like that's what they're trying to do. But yeah, it was just boring. There was a few of your intersectional feminism lines in there, which we expected anyway. But I put that aside anyway, just to see what they could actually come up with. And to me, they came up with diddly squat. They came up with nothing. Nothing new, nothing fresh, nothing original. You've got this whole multiverse concept you can play with, and you don't even grasp the opportunity. It's like going into it, I thought it would have been completely different to the first Avenger, but it's just not. You've got the train scene and you've got all that sort of stuff. It's just the same. Like I said, it's just Steve Rogers he's skinny Steve Rogers, and he's in like an Iron Man suit sort of thing, helping her like defeat the enemy. And then she fights an octopus that comes out a wormhole. She kills it with a sword, and then she goes into the wormhole to the future. And like I said, there was the odd feminist line, so I'll read out one or two. So Peggy says, "The way people view me has changed. I'm no longer screaming to be heard, to be seen, or be in the room." Then there's another one here. So Howard Stark says to her, "I thought you Brits were supposed to be resilient." And she says, "Just the men, apparently." And then you've got the Colonel. He's a bit of a sexist. So he's the sexist character. He just says, "This doesn't concern you. You're lucky to be in the room." It's like, I get it was the 1940s, but it's the way they say it. It's like they say it to the camera. It's like they sort of look at the camera and just to make sure you get it, to make sure you understand what they're saying. But it wasn't as bad as what I thought it would be, especially with them making him Captain America pretty much just a female. But yeah, all this episode seemed to me was, oh well, it's just just make Peggy Carter Captain America. That'll do. That'll just do. People will consume that and they'll love it. And we know there's going to be a lot of people that will still love this no matter what. Even if it's absolute garbage, they're still going to love it, but never watch it again. Like, I won't be. I'll watch through the episodes once and I ain't fucking touching it again, because it's... I'm going to go out on a limb and say the rest of the episodes aren't going to be any different. But I'll hold judgment, you know, to see how it goes. And I wasn't really a fan of the animation either. Not that it wasn't bad animation, it's just it wasn't really like the sort of animation I like. It was still good animation, but not my sort of thing. But I really don't know how Marvel intend to keep their audience. I don't know how they're gonna do it. They've still got enough people to keep them going for a couple of years, but it's not gonna last. Not if they continue down this route. It's like all you've done is recycled a story. You haven't done anything. Like I said, a 2-year-old could have done that. I could have done that. It's fucking easy. It's like you didn't change anything. I thought it was going to be completely different to what happened in the first Avenger, but they chose not to. I don't know who these people are that they're hiring, but they're just not they shouldn't be there. They're not talented. Or maybe Marvel's just stomping on them saying, no, don't make it too good. Don't make it too good, because that will make people happy. We want them miserable. That might be what's happening at all. I don't know. It seems like with the recent Marvel stuff that's coming out at the moment, it's like they're just trying to make people miserable. It's like, where's the fun? Where's the entertainment? Even if it had some sort of entertainment value there, I'd give you a little pass. But it's not even that. I went into it with an open mind, and it didn't provide anything for me. But I think I'll leave it at that anyway. So if you enjoyed the video, like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.